What's up, guys? It's Savjz here. All cards for the upcoming Riftbound expansion Spiritforged have been revealed. And on this video, we are going to take a closer look at all 12 of the new legends that are coming up. Maybe you haven't seen all of them yet, or maybe you're looking for some inspiration. I will be talking through all 12 of the legends. I will talk about the strengths, the weaknesses, the overall playstyle, and then sort of put an early guess in on each of them, whether I think they will be viable or not. Alright, let's get started. So the first one we have here is Ornn. Ornn's legend is Fire Below the Mountain. It gives you one recycle or one power cost that you can use only for gear. So we are playing a gear-based strategy, and with Ornn, we are kind of playing more like a control gear strategy. It's not so aggressive as some of the other ones. We have Ornn, the Forge God, which is a big dude with double deflect. Gets 1+ might for each friendly gear, so it encourages having lots of gear. Obviously, equipment. And then the other Ornn lets you, when you play it, lets you look at top 4 cards. And when you hold, you also get to look at top 4 cards, and you're trying to find your gear with them. Remember, equipment are gear, but not all gear are equipment. So you might have some other gear as well in the deck. So you could also get those. The signature card is something very special and something we haven't seen before, because you can only play one copy of each in your deck. So you can have one Forgefire Cape, Rabadon, and one Shurelius. This is totally new. These are some of them, if not the most powerful gear in the game, and they're the signature cards for Ornn, so only Ornn can play them. Very high cost, I have to say, on this gear. You can see the double recycle on the just to play it, and then another obviously recycle when you equip it, but the legend will help with that. So mega powerful cards. I think the big question will be, are these gear a little too slow? Is Ornn a little too slow? The power seems to be there, but if you don't find your gear, or if maybe the recycle costs are a little bit too much, Ornn might struggle, but I think it's very exciting legend for sure. Alright, the next one we have here is Ezreal. So Ezreal provides us with a new way to play blue and purple. Very different from the Teemo than we had in the past with the hidden cards. Ezreal does not do hidden cards. We get the Prodigal Sorcerer, Explorer, excuse me, for the legend, and it lets you draw an extra card when you've chosen enemy units or gear twice with spells and abilities. So cards like Stupefy can help you a lot with that, getting those extra cards. The signature card is the Arcane Shift. Manage friendly unit and owner plays it ignoring the cost. So you save your unit oftentimes from, I guess, dying, and then you also get to do 3 damage. The banish is probably just for like balance reasons, so you can play it from the graveyard multiple times. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty spicy. You get to play it anywhere. If you're controlling another battlefield, that can also potentially help you. It's not too expensive either. The 3 damage is kind of like the main thing. You save a guy, you can deal 3 damage. So pretty spicy there. Ezreal, Prodigy. When you play me, discard 1, then draw 2. Optional additional cost cost 1 or 1 less recycle. I like this one because it is +1 card already. It allows you to go through your deck. I could even see this particular Ezreal card being played outside of the Ezreal itself, just to like get those discards. Maybe you have Scrappy you want to discard or something like that, or like Flame Chompers if you're doing some kind of discard thing. So I like that a lot. Then we have the blue Ezreal, which when I attack or defend, deal damage equal to my might to enemy units. So it's kind of like it shoots. But I don't deal combat damage, so yeah, with gear, it will be higher amount of damage to help you take those out. And action, 1 blue recycle, move me to your base. So this is going to be a tough one to get rid of if you're not playing red, if you don't have falling stars or anything like that. Because this can, with removal spells, you can't respond with the action, but in combat, like if you have it, you can deal the damage with the ability, and then before the actual combat, you can pull him to safety. So this is going to be really annoying to deal with. I don't know if that's kind of how Ezreal is in League of Legends as well. I imagine it could be something like that. Yeah, I mean, I like this a lot. It's just choosing enemy units and getting those extra cards. Extra cards are valuable in Riftbound. And yeah, the Arcane Shift is pretty spicy too, so I think it's going to be a cool one to try, especially when you are not interested in those hidden card strategies. Then we have Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai, when you conquer, you may exhaust me to reveal top 2 cards. You may play one of them, then recycle the rest. So you have like a pretty strong RNG element here. So whenever we conquer, we have a chance to essentially get a free card or play something, but it might not be the optimal card for the situation. That's pretty cool. The reveal 2 cards theme also is like on the other cards. If we look at the Void Rush, reveal 2 cards, you may play one of them, reducing cost by 2. Draw any you did not play. So you could just draw 2 as well with this. So you don't have to like play one of them. But it's pretty spicy. It also allows you to refill. There's of course like Candlelight Sanctum and cards like that. This just lets you control the top cards better. There might be ways to like sneak a peek so you know what's coming. Yeah, this feels like it's for a certain type of players. If you like having that kind of like RNG element, this could be very exciting to play. I'm like kind of hoping it's not gonna be like top tier competitive, because then like it's gonna be it's gonna be a lot if revealing the top cards and playing the top cards will be like deciding who wins. But as a like casual and fun deck, this could be one of the more exciting ones. So on the Rek'Sai, yellow Rek'Sai as well. When I attack, reveal top 2. You may play 1, recycle the rest. If you played is a unit that you may play it here. So that's interesting, because this one is not tied to conquering, but it's instead of attacking. So you can attack with your Rek'Sai, look at top cards, and add another, play another unit there to attacking with the Rek'Sai. So you can like reinforce your attack with that. So pretty sweet. And yeah, you just get some like free cards. The last one is the red Rek'Sai. Has an accelerate, 3 cost, 3 might. With accelerate, assault 1, friendly units played from anywhere other than the player's hand have accelerate. So yeah. So here, when you look at the legend, where you reveal the cards and play them, you get the Void Rush, you reveal cards and play them. They will gain accelerate thanks to the red Rex. I also just like the no recycle cost on this, so it's pretty easy to have this guy. You just have it in your base, and then you kind of like getting ready to go, you know. And yeah, pretty exciting stuff. This is one that's extremely difficult to evaluate on the power level. But it looks very fun, very fun. This is going to be probably one of the first ones for me that I'm going to be trying out. Then we have Fiora, Grand Duelist. When one of your units becomes mighty, mighty means 5 might. So yeah, when you hit that, you can channel a rune exhausted. So a good example on how to like use this would be that you have a unit that's maybe like 3 might, like these ones. You know, we have those 2 Fioras, or something like that's 4 might, and then you equip a gear. The gear equipment on the unit, and that equipment puts the might to 5. So in that case, what would happen is you would pay most likely 1 recycle cost to equip the gear, but then you get the recycle rune back essentially, because you lose 1 to equip, and then you get it back from the Grand Duelist. So it's almost like keeps you going and allows you to keep using those like tricks and as well as the gear very efficiently. So I like this, and we have seen the power of saving runes with Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is one of the, if not, probably many people would consider it the best deck in set 1. And we've seen the power of getting extra runes for free, because Kai'Sa essentially lets you keep 1, and this kind of like, you know, like replaces, you know, oftentimes. But yeah, either way, you're gaining 1 rune a turn. So that is very powerful and not something to sleep on. We have the riposte for the signature, double recycle on it. It's a bit much, but what it does is choose a friendly unit and a spell, counter the spell, and give that unit might equal the spell's energy cost. So you gotta get 1 up on your opponent when it comes to the combat spell tricks. This is like the perfect when you initiate a showdown, you attack your opponent's battlefield. Or your opponent is the one attacking. It really gives you that like leg up if your opponent tries to do anything to kind of like turn the tide in their favor. You almost like secure that the combat stays in your favor instead. Yeah, I'm a little worried about the double recycle on this, especially early on. Usually the double recycle makes it a little bit tough to use. but a very powerful card. At minimum, you would play some of these in sideboard. Very, very strong sideboard card, if you don't play 3 copies in the main deck. But it might just be that you play 3 anyway. Then we have Fiora worthy. When a unit you control becomes mighty, you may pay 1 yellow to ready it. Very, very strong. Obviously the readying units is extremely powerful. So again, kind of like same thing as with the legend. Oftentimes when that happens is when you equip a gear. So that kind of like what happens is you get the rune from the legend, and then you get the mighty unit, and you can ready it. So there's just a lot of synergy all around. But again, like you do have to recycle for it. So that's the part where I'm nervous about this. Is the legend providing extra runes going to be enough to kind of like pay for everything and we want to be paying for, which is the equips, the riposte, and even now this readying. And then the last one, but not least, is the orange Fiora. When I attack or defend one-on-one, double my might. Oh boy. So a one-on-one combat, she would be a 6 might just without any buffs. And then if you equip something, you get the double the value when you're doing 1v1. Rip Master Yi, right? Because the legend requires you to only have 1 unit, and then you play Fiora. So this could be the perfect counter to Master Yi. You just do some slight buff on it or equip a gear +2, and then you suddenly have a 3 energy unit that has 10 might attacking into Yi. So yeah, this might be a nightmare card for Master Yi. Very excited to try this one as well. I like the playstyle. I just hope that the recycling won't be too much. Then we have Renata. Renata is a tricky one. It seems really cool, but it's a lot of it's a lot. It's just a lot. I don't know what else to say. When your ally hold, you may exhaust me to play a gold gear token. So gold gear token allows you to, when you sacrifice, you can pay for 1 recycle cost. So instead of recycling your runes, you can sacrifice your gold. While your score is within 3 points of victory, your gold also adds one energy. You get 1 energy and 1 recycle when you sacrifice it. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's this again, like I feel like there's a player type for this, because you will have a lot of those tokens very easily, and then you're doing this thing where you have a lot of stuff, and there's just a lot going on at all times. Is it going to be competitive? It's impossible to know how strong it will be. The hostile takeover is a signature. It's a hidden card. Why? Whoa! That's wild, because it's like either 5 and 2 recycle, or just 1 recycle if you can have it on the battlefield. Take control of an enemy unit. So when someone is attacking, and then, oh my gosh, lose control of that unit and recall it at end of turn. That is so interesting. That's such a powerful combat trick. It's like 2 completely different ways to play it, because if you pay the high cost, then you can attack with it. So you kind of like, your opponent has 2 units, you just MC one of them, and then you can like attack into the other one to trade them off. Or you can use it defensively. I would imagine you most of the time you use it just to like with the big cost, because it's so much better to do it on kind of like your turn, you know, than on your opponent's turn. But it definitely will have some like huge moments where you just use it defensively when your opponent is attacking in. Very cool card. Very, very cool card. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. It's a wild one. Then we have Renata, the blue, 1 energy, 1 recycle, draw 1, and then you can also score points. But these abilities can only be used while at the battlefield. The second ability is, because you have to also exhaust it, though. She has to be like kind of like survive a turn, unless you have some kind of extra way to ready it. It's going to be pretty hard to use for the second ability. There might be some moments for it when you can do it, but we should mostly focus on the first one, because if you have 5 blue runes, because you can play her directly in the battlefield, and then you can, let's say you pay 5 energy. It doesn't say you use only once per turn or anything like that. So you can pay 5 energy, and then you can sacrifice 5 blue runes, and then you can just draw 5 cards. So if you're ever out of cards, this will kind of keep you going. And also, a good way to pay for these, by the way, instead of sacrificing the runes, is the gold token. So you can pay energy, and you sacrifice a gold token. So that's probably very common, because you should have a bunch of those tokens from the legend and other means, because usually you want to make gold tokens with other cards too. The last one is the Renata Clask. This is the yellow one, 4 and 1 recycle for might. The recycle, this hurts a little bit, but your tokens enter ready. So what's interesting about this is that the gold tokens are also tokens. So you have the gold that enters ready, so you can pay with those when you get them, and also unit tokens. So if you have like a machine evangelist or something that makes you tokens, that might be very much relevant. So you attack with it, and then you have the 3/1 ones that are ready. There might be some other application with this as well, but I would probably lean towards the blue one overall out of these two. But it's cool to see if players can come up with some ways to like really get some good value from having tokens enter ready. Then we have Azir, Emperor of the Sands. Your Sand Soldiers have Weapon Master. Pay 1 and exhaust, play a 2 Might Sand Soldier unit token to your base. So use only if you played an equipment this turn. So it's kind of like better than Victor, because you get a 2 Might unit, but you have to play an equipment. But the equipment that you played, so that's the good news, because it's a Weapon Master, so you will kind of like get a free body, like someone to use the equipment. So very equipment based, like kind of like a token deck. Again, like something that's totally different playstyle wise. It's in the same colors as Leona, but plays completely differently. So it's kind of like whatever you prefer. Obviously, you want to have a lot of gear, and we'll see how strong we can make that, like with all the big equipment and all that. And is there an amount of gear that's too much? For example, is Azir going to be too weak to some kind of like gear removal, or like, you know, like destroy all gear type of cards? We'll see. The signature spell is Arise. Play a 2 Might Sand Soldier for each equipment you control. Then ready 2 of them. So yeah, if we have, so the 2 is kind of like the usual probably where you get that. So you have like 2 equipment, and then you slam this. You equip 1 gear on each. And then you just they're ready. You're ready to attack. So you just go in. So your 2 Might guys are actually not 2 Might. They'll be like 4 and 3, and they can be, or something like that. And they are ready to go. If they die, then you'll get your equipment back and you can use it. You can also attack with 1 of them, and then the gear from it comes loose, and then you can pay for that to like equip the first gear on the other unit. So then the other Sand Soldier, also ready to attack, will just have like 2 gear and be extra big. I don't know about this, because the 6 sounds like it's so much. The cost sounds really high, and you need to have a certain type of setup. I think this card will either make or break Azir. Like, it has to be good, but it's just, I have some doubts because of the 6 cost. But I could see it potentially being quite good. It's just, you need to have the equipment. We'll see. The green Azir is 6 cost, 1 recycle for 6 Might. Action, choose a unit you control. Move me to its location and to my original location. If it's equipped, you may attach. I think it's a meme. I don't really see much use for this. I don't think it's a very good card. But we'll see if there's some kind of like interaction or strategies I've missed. But my immediate like instinct is telling me that this card is not gonna be very good. However, the yellow Azir looks very good to me. So this is probably going to be the go-to, the one you want to play in your champion zone, or maybe even play more copies of. 4 Might for 4 cost, no recycle. That's very important. So we can like curve out to the Arise, for example. It has an accelerate, if you want to use that. When I attack, you may move any number of your token units to this battlefield. So yeah, if you have tokens that are not ready, if you just made a token, you have an Azir in play, you play a unit, you play like gear, you get a Sand Soldier on it. Your Sand Soldier wouldn't be ready to attack, but with Azir, you can just go in with Azir, and then the exhausted, you can kind of like grab the token to go with you. You could also, what you could do is, if you have a lot of like Sand Soldiers, you can send your Sand Soldiers to like one battlefield, and then if they like survive, you win the battle, then you can just like attack with Azir to the other battlefield. So then you get to kind of like double attack with your Sand Soldiers. They first attack normally, and then they attack with the Azir for the second one. So you can go for like double conquer that way maybe. It's just hard to go wrong with the 4 cost, 4 Might, accelerate. I don't know how much the Sand Soldier attack with you will be useful, but it's just like this is, we know this is a good card. It has a very, very good stat line. Excited to try Azir, that's for sure. Next one is Rumble. Rumble is a team deck. It is a mech strategy. The competition is very fierce for the red and blue, obviously, because Kaisa is such a monster. So it's really, really hard for this to be better than Kaisa. I'm just gonna say as it is. But this could be super fun, and I think this could also be like one of the new player favorite type of things. It's easy to build, it's easy to pilot. Most likely easy. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it will be tricky, but we have the mechanized menace. Your mechs have +1 shield, so when they're defending, they get that. We've seen how powerful it is with Master Yi when you can get extra stats for free. We've seen how good it is. You need to have 2 mechs in order to get the same benefit as Master Yi. So if you have 2 mechs, you will get +2 might for free. But it shouldn't be that hard, and like just getting the +1 is nice too. But like, yeah, assuming we're playing like deck full of mechs, and there's some quite good mechs too. Signature is Danger Zone. You get for 1 and 1 recycle, your mechs get +1, but you can play it as a repeat, so you can play it twice. So you can give all your mechs +2 for just 2 energy and 2 recycle. Seems like a really good one, like especially when you go in the offense. It might be a little tricky to use, kind of like defensively, but it should really help if you have a couple of mechs that you're attacking with and you just give them both +2. Like that will really make a difference in being able to conquer. I think it's a really good one, but it does require your deck to be full of mechs. Rumble Scrapper. Mechs have +1 might. Just straight up +1. Nothing about it. It also buffs itself, so it's kind of like a 5. And then when I hold, play a 3 might mech unit token. So that's a new token type that we have. Is our 3 might mechs. I will be making some of those. So those mechs, if it lives, like obviously it's really like a 4 might because of this effect. It's just a really like solid captain unit. I mean, you want to try to keep it alive. I don't know how easy it is to keep it alive. The competition is also like pretty fierce at 5 because you have like cards like Darius and all that. But it does. Darius might not really fit in a mech deck, so you should probably be playing this. And the other one is the Rumble Hot-Headed. Your mechs have Assault, so +1 while attacking. So with that, at the Legend, you can like your mechs have +1 while defending, but they also have +1 when attacking. It's kind of funny. When I conquer, you may recycle another friendly unit to play a mech from your trash. Reduce its energy cost by the might of the unit you recycled. So you could, for example, if you have some temporary buffs, you can kind of use that to gain extra. You buff your guy, then you go in, and when you win the battle, and then you still have the buff on it, so you can get the value from that. You'd also like recycle your tokens, in which case they will get destroyed, but you can pay for it that way. So you can recycle your token to actually get a unit from your graveyard that's more valuable. Like let's say you get the Scrapper back or something. Or if you have multiple of these red rumbles, one has died, you can like keep looping them, I suppose. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Again, like 4 energy for 4 might is already like pretty solid. It's not a bad stat line at all. And both of these abilities do seem quite relevant. So very hype deck. Hard to imagine it being better than Kaisa, but it feels different enough that if you feel like that you want to play this, you can. And you don't necessarily, especially if you're not that like competitive minded. I think it's gonna be a fun one. Draven. So we have the Draven Glorious Executioner. When you win a combat, draw 1. So yeah, Draven is all about conflict. We want to do battles. We want to get cards. Pretty straightforward with the Legend. Then we have the Spinning Axe, which is 2 cost, 1 recycle, and it's a gear that is temporary. So normally when your unit dies with gear, you can equip the gear on a different unit. But with the Spinning Axe will actually get destroyed. However, if it is your turn, and your unit with Spinning Axe dies on your turn, you can still equip it on another unit to get the value for that turn. By just recycling 1, you get +3. Because it does say it will get destroyed at the beginning of the next turn. So you will still be able to kind of like get the 6 might from it potentially on your turn. But yeah, very powerful. It's a combat trick that also like is not permanent, but lasts until the unit dies. So I do think this will be very powerful. Got the red Draven. When I win a combat, play a gold gear token. When I attack or defend, you may pay 1 red if you do. So the idea here is that he kind of like, okay, so you recycle 1 to buff him, and then you win the combat because of that. And then you get a gold gear. So then you can use the gold gear to buff him the next time. It's very thematical. It's kind of So, but yeah, he should in a perfect world he should be kind of like self-sustaining with the gold tokens. Like you jack the gold to buff him, and then you get a gold because you buffed him. Get a gold belt, blah 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 blah. Pretty exciting stuff. I think this is my favorite out of the two. The red one it seems hard to go wrong with it. And then we have the purple, which is 6 cost 6 with 1 recycle. That's deflect. So if you target it, the first time I win a combat, you score 1 point, so you get an extra point. When I die in combat, choose an opponent, they score a point. So it's a little bit risky, but if you play it at the right time, and you maybe if you have cards like Ride the Wind, maybe you can equip some stuff on it. It's a good one to put some gear on. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit tough maybe to play multiple copies of this, but I could absolutely see playing like one or two, and then just towards the end of the game, you play this, you equip all the equipment you have, anything you have, and then just Ride the Wind and easy, because you can get extra points. So instead of getting the 2 points with Ride the Wind, you can get 3 points with this. Let's say you have Boots of Swiftness and you play this, you equip Boots of Swiftness, you Ride the Wind, conquer 1. You get points from conquering, you get points from Draven, and your unit is ready and has ganking. Take the other one. GG. Pretty cool stuff. Not my playstyle exactly, but I like how it has a new identity for the colors. Then we have Sivir, Battle Mistress. When you recycle a unit, you may exhaust me to play a gold gear token exhausted. When 1 or more enemy units die, ready me. So again, we kind of getting more mana. This time in form of gold gear tokens. So Sivir is all about recycling. There's just a lot of recycling, a lot of gold tokens. We got the Mega Sivir here with 6 cost 7 might, deflect to a triple recycle. This is wild. Let's talk about On the Hunt first. This is one of the best finishers in the game, I think. Just ready your units, because it only costs 1 energy. So this is very specifically for the last turn when you are going to win the game. This is the win the game moment. You don't really want to be recycling very much with this. But it will be very, very powerful because it's so easy to do to get that double conquer in. So what you can do is if you have a lot of units on one battlefield, then you maybe get a hold from it because you have big units probably. You pull your units back to the base. You play 1 more big guy from your hand. You ready everything. So the guys that were holding one battlefield will re-ready and then take the other battlefield. That's probably most of the gameplay loop. Very hype, very, very good card On the Hunt. And then we have the Sivirs. Yeah. When I conquer, if you assign 5 or more excess damage, you may deal that much to an enemy unit. Ooh. So if you have any buffs or gear for this, and you go to battle, you can also kill other stuff. So it's kind of forces conflict in a way. It's very, very expensive. That's why I'm a little hesitant. But yeah, the deflect 2 also makes it really painful to deal with. It's big, and it has deflect. So that's super annoying to deal with. Well, we'll see how good that is. It's hard to evaluate. We got the purple Sivir here. 4 energy, 1 recycle for might, accelerate. If you spend at least 2 power this turn, I have +2 and ganking. So yeah, so the most basic way to do it is of course the turn you play her, because if you have 5 energy, you pay 5 energy and recycle 2 purple. So you can, if you at 5, you can play her from champion zone, and because you paid for the accelerate recycle and you paid for her, she will just immediately be a 6 and ready to go. So she's ready, has ganking. Yeah. This is probably the one that I like more. It's also just because it goes so well. It has a recycle cost on it, which is normally it's a bummer because you don't want to. There's so many 4 energies, 4 mites in the game, but you can just you can get the gold token from that, so you will get that back. It's pretty flexible. I like it. I think it's my favorite out of the 2, but we'll see how the orange one plays out. Overall, I'm on the fence about Sivir. It's probably not my favorite out of all the legends so far, but I do think I do like the signature. I do think there's a pretty cool, unique play pattern here anyway. Irelia. Irelia is all about buffing and targeting units. When you choose a friendly unit, you may exhaust me and pay 1 power to ready it. When you conquer, you may pay 1 energy to ready me. So yeah, We are readying units at the cost of recycling. Seals are probably going to be pretty much necessary for Irelia, because otherwise this is going to be too much recycling. And remember, we can also use the seals to equip gear, so that should work out. I don't know how good Irelia is going to be. There's a lot of potential. It's really fancy. I also really like this signature spell. It's a 1 energy, 1 recycle, Defiant Dance. And it gives a unit +2 and another unit -2. So that's a 4 power swing in your favor. And we can also use it to activate the legend. So we can ready our unit with this for just 1 extra energy. So if we can play anything from the hand, we play this for 1 more, and then just for a little recycle, we can really get some favorable trades going. If you play, let's say we play this one. When you choose already, give me +1 this turn. So we would do both of those things. Defiant Dance would buff her. She would go to 6. She's been chosen. She goes to 7. We re-ready her, and yeah, she goes to 8. And then also like there's a debuff on the enemy. So super powerful, super synergistic. The high synergy thing is here. What's the juicy part? So here you say your spells that choose me cost 1 or 1 recycle less. So quite often you will like get the discounts you want, so you don't have to recycle for the purple one. It's just such a like all in on the synergy type of deck. It could be mega powerful, or it could be that you just have really tough time drawing the right amount of spells and right amount of units. I could imagine this is like, okay, we're filling the deck with some buffs, but then we just like, okay, we just have a handful of buffs sometimes in some games, and then we just don't have enough units. Because you kind of want to play as much. I also am worried about the recycling. It's going to destroy our mana base. I think there's a lot of potential, but finding the right balance with everything is going to be quite difficult. I think it might take some time to get the exact deck list with the exact amount of like, you know, gear and recycling and like all kinds of like seals and the buffs and units. So yeah, a lot of potential, but it's a little bit tricky to build. Then we have Jax. Jax is a gear equipment champion. There's a lot of really useful equipment synergies. So Jax allows you to attach an equipment you control, the unit you control, without recycling. So the legend will let you save stuff. You can also... Oh, no. It's if you attach a detach. Okay, so you pay energy to attach a detach. So instead of like recycling, you can pay energy. So it's kind of like same energy as same vibes as Teemo, where you, instead of recycling, you have the option to do that. Or you can attach equipment from one unit to another. Normally you can't do that, but Jax allows you to do that. So you can use same equipment multiple times, which can be pretty cool. Or you can kind of like get those kind of like stacks going. If you make one unit really big, but your important gear is already on another unit, you can use that. The signature spell is a counter strike reaction. Play anytime. Choose a unit. The next time that unit will be dealt damage this turn, prevent it and draw one. So this is a really good reaction. It's maybe the best combat trick in the game. It's only available to Jax. Like, I am a huge fan of this card. And this card is, I think, is the reason why Jax potentially could be better than Master Yi. Because you can protect your guy from combat. So if a showdown is ongoing and your opponent has like massive army, whatever, you just do this and it prevents all the combat damage. Because all the combat damage happens at the same time. So they will just bounce back. Even if they have a bigger army than you just have one guy. You counter strike and you kill some of them and the rest just bounce back, and you get to draw a card. Like I love this card. I think counter strike is a very good card. Then we have Jax Unmatch is the green one. Each equipment in your hand has quick draw, so you can play them on your opponent's turn. You can play them during showdowns, and they equip automatically. So the quick draw does two things. It attaches without paying for the equipment cost, and you can play it at any time. So that makes that really powerful because it saves you a lot of runes over time. You also have just has deflect, so you could kind of like stack this guy to make him really big, you know. And yeah, if you're playing decks, if you're playing like Sona or something, gives you extra mana on your opponent's turn. Suddenly you can flash in all of your equipment and not just the Xerox Gauge or whatever that's called. Then we have the orange Jax Weapon Master. He's a 4 cost, 4 energy, 1 recycle, 3 might. Weapon master. When you attach an equipment to me, you may pay 1 to draw 1. So if you ever run out of cards, this is your refill. Because you can attach multiple equipment, and with your energy, you can pay multiple times when you do multiple equipments. So you can just draw. Especially good in late game if you have a lot of runes, but you're running out of gas. You play this guy, maybe you have 2 or 3 equipment, and you just like draw. The first one will also like just, you don't even need to recycle because the Weapon Master, and then we have the Grandmaster at arms also helping with all that, so you can move from other units, you can move gear to this one to get those cards. So yeah, just a really, really strong card to kind of like keep you going towards the mid to late game. I like Jux. We'll see if it's good or not. I don't really know. I think there's some challenges because I think it's relying so heavily on the equipment, but it could work. Then we have Lucian. Not my style. I'm just gonna say that out of the gates. It's very aggressive, extremely like aggro deck. Each equipment gives you +1 assault, so you play a lot of like cheap equipment and then you get assault. So with Lucian, you're not really holding. You conquer and you get out of there. Move a friendly unit is the signature. You may attach an equipment, and then when I conquer, you may move me to my base. So it's all about going in and out, in and out, in and out. Lucian, Orange Lucian, has a Weapon Master. Also, first time I conquer is ready me. So yeah, you go to the battlefield, you get a point, you ready him, you get out, and you just put a bunch of gear on him, and every turn you do the same thing. Every turn, you make him bigger, you make him big. With the equipment, you go in, you go out. You go in, you go out. And then you try to get both at some point. Hyper aggressive strategy. Assault on the also on the red Lucian, also 3 cost. When I attack, deal damage equal to my assault to an enemy unit here. So this ties into the legend in particular because you get the free assault from this. Then we can also play the gear, the equipment, which gives you assault. So we can kind of like stack the assault to like 5 or whatever, and then just going in, and then we're doing the extra movements with the relentless pursuit. Yeah. It is just this is so far from my personal style, but I know there's players who enjoy these type of things. If you enjoy kind of like faster games, if you enjoy being the aggressor, just like, you know, really putting your opponent to the test from early on, just pressuring, Lucian might be for you. That's it. We got through all of them. Oh my gosh. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this type of content, just let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, a comment. I've never done a video like this, so I don't know how you feel about it. Just let me know. If you want more, I'll make more. Thank you everyone for watching, and enjoy Riftbound.